A group of friends seeking adventure decided to explore an abandoned town hidden deep in the forest. From the moment they set foot in the town, an eerie feeling seemed to take hold of the air. The houses, old and weathered, stood silent in the mist, but there was something unsettling about the place. At first, they tried to brush it off as just the effect of a forgotten town. But as they ventured deeper, strange and unsettling things began to happen. A door creaked open on its own, shadows moved when there should have been none, and strange noises echoed through the empty streets. They told themselves it was just the wind, but deep down, they couldn't shake the feeling that they were not alone. The group, despite their growing unease, pressed on, convinced that they were merely overthinking the situation. It wasn't until they found old records in the dusty library of the town that the dark history of this place began to unfold. The books told the tale of people who had gone missing, some of whom were never found. These weren't ordinary disappearances. These were linked to a terrifying truth. The town had once been a thriving community, but it had been cursed, and the souls of those who vanished never found peace. The more the friends uncovered, the clearer it became that the town was not just haunted. It was a prison for restless spirits that wanted to return to the world of the living. They learned that the spirits of the missing, once part of the living, were trying to break free of the curse that bound them, using the town as a gateway. As the group delved deeper into the mystery, the true horror of the town was revealed. The spirits needed bodies to return, and they would do anything to make it happen. The friends soon realized that the night they spent there was no mere coincidence. The town had been waiting for them, for new souls to be trapped in its endless nightmare. Desperate to escape, they tried to find a way to break the curse, but it was too late. One by one, they were consumed by the very spirits they sought to understand. Only one managed to flee, forever haunted by the knowledge that the town's curse would never be broken, and the souls trapped there would continue to seek new victims. The town of the lost would remain forever hungry, never to let go of its grasp on the living. The lone survivor, now forever scarred by the horrors they witnessed, stumbled through the dark woods that surrounded the cursed town. The forest seemed alive with whispers, like the trees themselves were trying to warn them of the impending doom they had narrowly escaped. But the escape, as they would soon discover, was not a true release. The further they ran, the more the oppressive weight of the town's curse seemed to follow. It was as if the spirits had marked them, and no matter how far they traveled, they would never truly be free. As the days turned into weeks, the survivor began to experience strange occurrences. Visions of the other friends who had disappeared, flickers of their faces in mirrors, echoes of their voices calling out from distant places. No matter how hard they tried to ignore it, it became clear that the spirits had followed them, lingering in the corners of their life, ever present and hungry for more. It wasn't until one night, when they could no longer distinguish between reality and nightmare, that the truth fully hit them. The town had marked them. The souls of the lost had bonded with them, and now they were forever tied to the cursed land. The once empty town now felt like a living entity, a place that existed beyond time, waiting for anyone foolish enough to cross its path. The survivor tried to tell others, but no one believed them. Desperate, they returned to the town, hoping to find answers, or at least a way to end the nightmare once and for all. What they found, however, was worse than they could have ever imagined. The town, which they had once thought abandoned, was thriving again. The spirits of the lost had risen, taking on new bodies, those who had dared to come too close, seeking to join the cursed cycle. And among them they saw the faces of their friends, twisted and contorted into expressions of eternal anguish, forever trapped in the town's curse. They had become part of the town's deadly cycle, just as the others had before them. The curse was never meant to end, only to grow stronger with each soul it took. The survivors, the friends who had once ventured into this forsaken place, were now part of something much larger, an eternal prison where time no longer mattered, where the souls of the lost continued to wander, seeking new victims. The survivors' only hope was to escape once more, but they knew in their heart that there was no real escape. The town would always call them back, its thirst for souls never satiated. Each person who set foot within its borders would be marked, pulled into its web, doomed to be trapped for eternity with the spirits of those who had come before. And in the end, there was only one truth. The town was not just a place. It was a living nightmare, a vortex of terror and despair, and no one who entered would ever leave unscathed. As the survivor turned to leave, their heart heavy with the truth, they heard a whisper on the wind, one they knew all too well. It was a voice that had once been a friend's, calling them back. And in that moment, the survivor realized with horror that the town had not let them go. They were already a part of it, and soon they too would become one of the lost, their soul another prisoner in the endless, ever-hungry dark. The curse of the abandoned town had claimed yet another victim, and the cycle would begin anew, waiting for the next group of curious souls to wander into its grasp. The town, with its silent streets and empty windows, would remain forever, a place where the lost would never truly rest, and where the living would always be at risk of becoming part of its dark history.